Yo, what's up, my mullet Sharp here, and bringing you guys another video. And I usually do this video right around, right before Ghosts or Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, whichever game ends. Usually kind of do like a recap of the whole year. So just kind of pretty much go through. Not a lot of people know about how we placed throughout this year. A lot of people think it's just a whole bunch of bad placings and whatever. And this is just kind of like a farewell to Ghost. I know it was kind of like a really shitty game, and not a lot of people are happy to see it go. Hopefully, Advanced Warfare can be a kind of return for competitive Call of Duty. Where it's actually a lot better game to watch and a lot more competitive game. But we'll see tonight, and we'll see as the month goes on, and then leading into Columbus coming the day after Thanksgiving. We'll know a lot more about how Advanced Warfare is going to play out. So. First, let's start off with the fact that this is the first Call of Duty where I've stayed on the same team the whole entire Call of Duty from start to finish. I've been with TK since Black Ops 2, and then when Ghost released, I was still with TK, and now Ghost is finishing. Advanced Warfare is releasing tonight, and I'm still on TK. So it's the first Call of Duty that I've been on the same team throughout the whole thing, so that's pretty cool. If we would have kept Neslo, a cool fact is I think we would have been the only team to keep the same roster throughout 3 consecutive Call of Duties, because we had the same roster in Black Ops 2, we had the same roster in Ghost, and then we would have had the same roster in Advanced Warfare. Obviously, switching it up, mid-season, Goon leaving, Theory leaving, dropping Neslo, and Neslo coming back, Goonjar coming back, Theory coming back, but still, we were the same roster throughout a period of course of time throughout the game, and who knows, maybe that could come true through Advanced Warfare if we get back together, but who knows? Hopefully, this team that we have now, we go into Advanced Warfare and just kick ass. But the beginning of the year, the first event was Columbus, and it was kind of like how this Columbus is going to be. It was right. I think I want to say it was before Thanksgiving. So I don't think there was as much time to play. It was like 2 weeks. People had 2 weeks to practice the game, and then we went to an event. It's going to be kind of similar to that. There's a close event coming up. But we ended up getting second in that event, and we lost the tournament by one map. We went last map with EG, or they were Complexity at the time, and we ended up losing to them. And that was kind of heartbreaking, because it was like we were so close to winning our first championship, and we just didn't get it. We got second. And then came around the end of December. It was right around New Year's in January, like after New Year's, like January 1st area. Came UMG Philly. We went to that tournament, and once again made it. We got knocked out in the losers bracket early. Our first match, we actually lost to E-Girl Slayers, and we got knocked out in a losers bracket. We made a losers bracket run, knocking out Envious, knocking out FaZe, knocking out Fuse, knocking out Strictly Business, knocking out Curse Las Vegas, knocking out I can't even think of all the teams. We knocked out a lot of teams, had a great, amazing losers bracket run. Obviously, that event, we had me, Theory, Neslo, and Clayster. Goonjar left after Columbus, and we picked up Clayster for that event. And we once again got to the finals, and we won the first map against Complexity, and then lost the next 3. And once again, getting second place, losing to Complexity. Clayster left after that event, went to Optic, kind of saw that coming, and then that's when we brought on, I talked to Formal at Philly, and that's when we brought on Formal. Formal coming from Fear, coming from Halo. Didn't really get a shot, never placed in the top 16. Picked him up to our team, and that's when that team formed, and we played with Neslo, Theory, and Formal, and me, and we played with that team online, and things just weren't working out. So we decided to make a roster change by dropping Neslo and bringing Goonjar back to the squad. And then that team, was really clicking. We had a lot of fun playing with that team. We got to the finals of the Winter League, the online league, and we ended up, I think, losing to Envy in that, maybe. Or no, we weren't in the finals. We were in the quarterfinals, and lost to Envy, and they ended up losing to Curse Las Vegas, I think. And then we went to regionals, and we got 3rd place with that team, and we were pretty happy about that. We were up 2-0 against Strictly Business, the team that won, and we ended up losing to them. And so, who knows how that event could have turned out. There was no money on the line, yes, but still, we got 3rd place with that team at that event. Went to COD Champs with that team, and we kind of shit the bed. We went to a practice LAN for a whole week before that with Complexity, Justice, and Curse New York. Or not Justice. Yeah, Justice was there, and Curse New York. And played against those teams for a straight week. Went to COD Champs. Just didn't work out. We didn't perform the way that we were expected to perform. Didn't even place the money. Got top 16. And then Formal and Theory actually ended up leaving after that. You know, I got off the plane after COD Champs and received, you know, tweets and text messages saying that Formal and Theory had left. So I immediately called Gunjar to see what he was doing. I called the owner of the team, Chaos X Silencer, or Jimmy, and talked to him. And he said, you know, as long as you're still going to stay on the team, I'm going to keep TK up and running, blah, 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 you know. Pretty much that I was going to stay on TK and we were going to try to rebuild TK back up. So we picked up Apathy and Dito, who were both dropped off of their teams after COD Champs. They were on Strictly Business, and we picked those two players up from Strictly Business, and we had that team. We went to PAX, where we still had to play with Formal and Theory, and we just kind of goofed off at that event. We didn't really goof off, but, you know, we weren't a real team, so it wasn't like, you know, we were there going 100%. We hadn't been practiced, and, you know, we lost. We ended up losing that event, and it was whatever. It was kind of like a joke event. We went to that. It was PAX East. And then we came home with Apathy and Dito, and right before roster lock, Dito actually ended up leaving our team. And that's when, you know, I had to contact Neslo in the middle of the night. We had a choice between Neslo or Stainville, from Justice, because those two players, Killa and Miracles, left Justice to form Optic Nation. So it came down to Neslo or Stainville, and, obviously, you know, we wanted to go back and pick up a player that we were comfortable with, that we'd played with before, and that we teamed with for quite some time. So we went back with Neslo, picked Neslo back up, and, the team was me, Apathy, Gunjar, and Neslo. And once again, you know, we went to X Games with that team. We were struggling in the online league, barely even in the top 8, and sometimes dropping under the top 8, struggling in the league, struggling. Managed to qualify for the league, actually finished in the 8th spot for the online league, and then went to X Games and wowed everyone. We ended up getting 2nd place. You know, we beat EG, and you know, we were like the first team to beat EG in a long time, knocking them down the loser bracket, and then Optic knocked them out. And then we had a great finals with Optic. We ended up losing last map, close game, Sovereign Search and Destroy. But once again, TK kind of took the 2nd place there, and we ended up getting the silver medal at the X Games. And then we went on to Anaheim with that team. We came home, we practiced more, whatever. And we went on to Anaheim and played with the same team, the same X Games team, but, things just weren't the same. We didn't go there, 100%. You know, I don't want to sit here and say that shit happened, but, just some people went to the event and their head wasn't in the event, and things went bad. And we ended up placing pretty, not really poorly. We got top 8 again. Which, by the way, I left out UGC Niagara because we went to that event with a fill-in with Mad Cat, and we got top 8 at that event. That event happened. We picked up Apathy, and he couldn't go to Niagara because he was going on a cruise. So we went with Mad Cat. That was right before X Games, and then came X Games. We got 2nd, and then we went to Anaheim, and we got 8th again. And at the event, Apathy told me that he was leaving, that he was going back with his old team phase, with Censor and Saints. And at the time, I think Formal's on the team. They didn't think that they were going to leave. And then I think Formal ended up leaving, going to Envy, and Saints ended up, they picked up Apathy for Saints, because he didn't go to Niagara, so they didn't want to deal with all that. So, our team was left looking for one. We were all pretty mad, and we ended up picking Theory back up at the event. His team had just completely disbanded. FaZe Red as a roster was dropped completely. JCap went to Envy. Replays went to Denial. Theory came to our team, and Classic went to Most Wanted. And so we had our old team back together, and everyone, all the TK fans were like, oh yeah, the old team, let's go, you know. Woo! TK all day, woo! And then we went to AL Dallas, which, was it wasn't a major event, you know. FaZe was there, FaZe's full team was there, Curse's full team was there, and Excellence, the EX team was there, as like the top amateur team there. And we ended up taking first at that event, played Curse in the finals, and we ended up winning that event as a team. And then we went to Germany. Now, before we went to Germany, we were doing all right in the league. We were kind of like just in the middle there, like the 5th place, 4th place area. So we were doing all right in the league. We went to Germany to Gamescom. We went to Gfinity first. We went to Gfinity, as a team, and ended up placing, 8th through 5th, I think. Along with EG and Optic, I think we placed the same as them. And we lost that event. That was pretty terrible. And that was like our first real event as a team. And we lost that, and that's kind of where things just went south. You know, our league record kind of went down. we ended up going to Gamescom in Germany. The whole thing with Gunjar falling asleep during the 5K or whatever, we ended up losing that, and then we went to Gamescom in Germany, and that's where like we kind of talked to Gunjar, and we're like, dude, gotta get your shit together, dude. You can't be falling asleep during 5Ks, and I feel like we straightened Gunjar out, and Gunjar actually has matured a lot as a person, as a teammate. So I've quite enjoyed that a lot. He used to seem like he was just kind of like the little kid of the team, and he didn't really care about anything. But now he seems like he's grown up a lot and he cares. We took that team to UMG Dallas after Gamescom. We came back the week after. We went to UMG Dallas, and I was really sick that weekend and didn't really play the best. We ended up getting 8th again, getting knocked out by Optic once again. So we took top 8 at UMG Dallas, and then a couple weeks later we came back. We practiced. We did not qualify for season 3, the event, the invite only event in Columbus that a lot of you guys went to. That was at the MLG studio. We did not get to go to that. So we went to UMG Nashville, and that was TK's last event, and we wanted to do big things there, kind of prove that we were meant to be in Columbus. And we went to that event and ended up choking a 2-0 lead to FaZe for our pool. We would have won that pool. We would have been top 6 in winners bracket, but we ended up choking that pool, losing to FaZe, blowing the 2-0 lead against them, and then going to losers bracket. We ended up playing Optic. And I forget who we played before that, but we won a match, and then we ended up playing Optic, and we lost to Optic. I want to say it went last map. I feel like it went last map. I don't think it did, actually. No, I think we ended up losing 4th map. And we lost 4th map to them, and that was just kind of it. That was our season. Our whole time throughout Ghost, we placed in the top 8 besides COD champs. So yes, all our 8th place finishes are kind of disappointing. There are some events in there where we went with a fill-in, or, I was sick at Dallas, and, just different things. And I mean, you can't say that these are excuses, but, top 8 to me is bad, but it's really not that bad. Like, to sit here and say that we've consistently placed top 8 throughout the whole time in Ghost, except for one event, yes. The biggest event, I know a lot of you guys will say, well, Sharp, that's the biggest event, you guys fucking suck, blah, 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 blah. Don't really give a shit, but yeah, that was the biggest event. And yeah, we got 16th, but I think it's still pretty amazing how well we did in this game, and what we ended up doing with it. And I'm excited for Advanced Warfare. It's actually, I'm gonna go, I don't know what time it is. Maybe it's already released, but I'm gonna go to my GameStop tonight to the midnight release, pick up the game, come home. Maybe by the time you guys are watching this, I'll be streaming, because me and the squad are gonna be streaming all night tonight, playing a lot. So you guys should check that out, and hopefully, the first event in Advanced Warfare, maybe we can come home with a W. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see what this game holds for TK. What happens in the future happens, and we'll just have to see. And as of right now, I didn't really do a long video talking about it. I did that kind of, short little announcement video. But yes, as of right now, our team is me, Gunjar, Theory, and Looney. So that is our team going into Advanced Warfare. Hopefully, all you guys that support us, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. You guys are all out there TK all day. That's awesome. If you guys don't support us, you just support me. That's cool too. Or if you just say, hey, I only watch you when Optic and Envy aren't streaming, then I'm like, hey, you know what? Those 3 a.m. streams, I'm glad you're there. But other than that, appreciate you guys, and hopefully Advanced Warfare brings a championship to TK. So we'll see. If you guys liked it, I don't know why I just did that pause and sad face in the mic. But if you guys liked the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I did not reach my goal of 100,000. We're about 15,000 subscribers off. I'm hoping to reach that, soon. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube will be awesome. It's something I've been reaching for a long time. So, maybe we'll get that soon, but not right now. Yeah. As always, your boy Sharp. I'm out. Peace.